Hey, this is video lesson 4.6, and you are going to learn how to divide whole numbers by fractions, which hopefully you already know how to do from homework. So let's get started. First off, you need to know what a reciprocal is. So let me show you. This says dividing 3 by 1/2 gives the same result as multiplying 3 by 2, which is the reciprocal of 1/2. Any two numbers with a product of 1 are called reciprocals. Now this is the math definition. Any two numbers with the product of 1 are reciprocals. So let me show you in reality what a reciprocal is. So, in example 1, it says find the reciprocal of 2/3. So yes, the definition says any new numbers with a product of 1. But here is what a reciprocal is. It's when you end up flipping 2/3 to get 3/2. 3/2 is the reciprocal of 2/3. That's it. Just flip them. Now, do they have a product of 1? Well, let's check it out. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 over 6 is 1. So yes, that makes them a reciprocal. But we just flip it. So in 2, it says find the reciprocal of 1/8. So if I flip 1/8, I get 8 over 1. But remember, that simplifies to 8. So 8 is the reciprocal of 1/8. Now, do they have a product of 1? Well, 1 times 8 is 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 over 8 is 1. So yeah, they do. So remember, just flip the fraction. Now in 3, it says find the reciprocal of 5. Now the first thing I'm going to do is write 5 over 1. And now I'm going to flip it to 1/5. So 1/5 is the reciprocal of 5. All right, you're ready to try some. I want you to do A, B, and C. Find the reciprocal. Remember, just flip them. Go ahead, pause the video, do those 3. All right, let's see what you did. For A, the reciprocal of 3/5 is 5/3. No, you don't need to change it to a mixed number, but if you said, so 5/3 does equal 1 2/3, I would accept that as an answer, but you don't need to fix improper fractions. So 5/3 is really the answer, all you need for A. Now for B, it says 1/3. So if I flip 1/3, I get 3 over 1. And I would be okay with 3 over 1, or if you just said 3. Both of those are all right. Now C is the one that tends to trick people, because here's what people do. They stop and they say, oh, let me just write 11 over 1, I'm done. No. You have to remember to flip it. So if you flip that to 1/11, that is the reciprocal of 11. All right, so that's how you find a reciprocal. Now on the next page, we are going to use reciprocals to solve. So we're not going to use the bar diagram. I'm just going to show you the steps that we've been doing for a while in homework. So let me get some workspace. All right, so in example 1, it says find 2 divided by 1/3, write in simplest form. So what you really do to divide a fraction is you multiply it by its reciprocal. Now what we do for this is we use KCF to help us set it up. So I'm going to start by writing 2 as a fraction, 2 over 1. So I'm going to keep it 2 over 1, change it to multiplication, and flip it to its reciprocal, 3 over 1. Now I multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. My answer is 6. All right, let's talk about example 5. So we're not going to go through all those little light blue boxes. We're just going to do KCF. So first off, you write it 7 over 1. Now I think it's a good idea to write keep change flip on top, because that will keep you from making silly mistakes. Now I'm going to get a little bit of workspace down here for me. So now when we keep change flip, remember you keep it 7 over 1, change it to multiplication, and flip it to its reciprocal, 3/2. Now you solve. There's no bow tie reducing. I get 21 over 2, or 21/2. And since that's improper, I have to do 21 divided by 2. 2 goes into 21 10 times, which is 20. Subtract 1. Remember how to get the mixed number? Our answer is 10 and 1/2. So 7 divided by 2/3 is 10 1/2. All right, you ready to try some? I want you to try D, E, and F. Yes, I want you to keep change flip. So make sure you show your work like I did in examples 4 and 5. Pause the video, restart it when you're done, and after you do all 3, go. All right, how did you do for D? First off, I write it over 1. Keep change flip. So keep it 6 over 1. change it to multiplication, and flip it to 3 over 1. No bow tie reducing, you get 18 over 1, which is 18. If you had 18 for D, give yourself a C. If not, pause and fix your mistake. Okay, let's go to the next one, E. So did you make it 5 over 1 first? Keep, change, flip. So you're going to keep the first fraction the same, change it to multiplication, and flip the second fraction to its reciprocal. Next, there is no bow tie reducing, so I multiply my numerators, I multiply my denominators, and since that's improper, I have to do 15 divided by 2, which is 7, and 1/2. So you should have 7½ for that one. All right, last one is problem F. So did you write it 4 over 1? Did you remember to keep, change, flip? Now in this one, there is, well, let's do keep, change, flip first. So I have 4 over 1 times the reciprocal 4/3. So looking at this problem, there is no bow tie reducing. So I multiply, I get 16/3. Since it's improper, I'm going to do 16 divided by 3. 3 goes into 16 5 times, with 1/3 remaining. So you have 5 1/3. All right. Now, last one, we're just going to show you a real world example here. So let's get started. First, though, I had to magically clean up all that slop underneath so you can see my work. It says, at a summer camp, the duration of a field hockey game is 3/4 of an hour. So that's how long a field hockey game lasts. The camp counselors have set aside 6 hours for field hockey. So that's the total amount of time they have to play games. The question says how many games can be played. Now in this one, here is what I know. The 6 hours of time they set aside is being split or divided into 3/4 hour chunks. Okay, because each game is 3/4 of an hour. And the answer is going to be how many games they can play. How many 3/4 hour chunks can you get out of 6? So I'm going to start by writing 6 over 1, and I'm going to keep, change, flip. So keep it 6 over 1, change it to multiplication, and flip it to 4/3. Next, I'm going to look for some bow tie reducing. I see 3 goes into itself once, and 3 goes into 6 twice. Now when I solve, I get 8 over 1, which is 8. That means our answer says how many games? They can get 8 games if each game is 3/4 of an hour and they have 6 hours to do it. All right, so that's a real world problem with some bow tie reducing in it as well. I hope this helped. As always, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, come ask me and I'll be glad to answer them. Later.